Now, Apple aren't perfect, and even Steve Jobs has said it himself.
We're not perfect.
And right now, in summer 2019, there are 4 recalls out there from Apple. One of them is to do with a power plug, another is to do with a 13-inch MacBook Pro, the power behind the light not working correctly. Another is the famous MacBooks and MacBook Pros and new MacBook Airs keyboard issue. And then finally, the last one is the 2015 Retina display 15-inch MacBook Pro, what has also got a battery recall. So I've decided to make you guys a little video in what you need to do if you think your Mac is got one of these problems, and the steps that you need to do and the web pages and everything and all the steps that you need to follow to get your Mac all nice and fixed by the Apple Recall program. So let's begin. So guys, before we get started with this video, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel just by clicking here down the bottom of the video. And then after that, if you want to get notifications when I make new videos, just press the little bell here. And then finally, if you want to know what kind of videos I make on my channel, do just click on my name. And as you can see here, I make loads of different videos, mainly ones to give you guys tips in how to improve your Mac. At the same time as well, I also make tips about iPhones and iPads and all the other kind of Apple equipment and also other technology as well. On top of that, I'll be showing you guys how to get slightly older Apple technology and showing you guys how it can still be used today. So make sure you guys that you do subscribe to my channel and also press the little bell for the notification to let you guys know when a new video is going to be available. Now the web page you want to go to is the Apple Exchange and Repair Extensions program. This is where all the recalls are being held. The web page that you want to go to is just up here, what is the support.apple.com, and then because I'm in the UK it's EN English GB Great Britain, and it's the Exchange Repair. But if you see here, if I change this to US, you'd see we'd be at the American sites now, but being I'm in the UK, I'm going to keep it at that one because it just makes it a bit more easier for me to create this video. But no matter which country you're in, it's going to be the same. It's going to be exactly the same procedures what I'm going to be showing you here. So as I said, there are 4 recalls in 2019. As you can see here, we have got the plug, we have got the 13-inch MacBook Pro display backlit service program, we've got the keyboard issue, and then we've also finally got the battery issue with the 2015 MacBook Pro. So then, let's get started. The first one is at the bottom here is the Apple Free Pong AC adapter. Now, this one's a little bit more closer to heart to me again. The reason why is because this wall plug actually belongs in the UK. So, they've shown here the way how to identify what your wall plug is. As you can see, the affected one has got a white background and the new one has got kind of grey piece on the back here. Then what you can do is you can take this to a Apple authorized service provider or an Apple retail store, and then basically they will exchange it for a new one. So the way how you can do this is you can click on the find an authorized Apple service provider. So I'm going to right click on that and open it up. And then what you can do is you can say use your current location, click go. And as you can see where I am here, the nearest available ones are just in the inner London. It's a little bit too far. So I think for me, it's probably easier to go to this town down here called Woking to get this done. So if I select on that point there, you can see here I can come in at a time and book it in. So I want to go in tomorrow. I can select a time, so let's say 1 PM. And then basically then I can well, as you can see, I've reserved my spot. It's told me to do backup my data, but obviously it is the power plug, so I'm not going to do that. But if it was another type of recall, that would be the formality to do so. I can also reschedule at the same time. But as I haven't actually got a plug that's affected, it's just to demonstrate to you guys, I'm going to click cancel there. And we'll close that one down, and we'll also close down the free prong. The next one is the 13-inch MacBook Pro display backlit service program. So I'm going to open this one up again. Now this one is a little bit more different. it's affecting a couple of models here. It's affecting here the 13-inch MacBook Pro 2016 4 Thunderbolt 3 ports and also the 2 Thunderbolt 3 port MacBook Pros. Now, the way how you can tell what it is, what your Mac is, it's showing you here, is by going to the Apple logo at the top corner and clicking about this Mac. And as you can see here, my one tells it it's a Mac Pro early 2009 model, and basically you just have to look for this title here to identify which MacBook Pro you have got. It's describing the problems as well. So the display backlit continues or intimately shows vertical bright areas along the bottom row of the screen. The display backlit stop works completely. So basically there's a bulb down the very bottom of the screen. I'm moving my mouse around here, down here, what's basically gone out, as it were. Again, it's the same process again. You select your Apple service provider and then you take it into a shop. You could also take it into an Apple official shop. Either way, it doesn't matter. And I've had a good experience from both, basically. I have gone to a authorized service provider and they've done a fantastic job. I've had a repair done. It was on a 2011 MacBook Pro some years ago when the graphics went, and they did a superb job. I got my MacBook Pro back within 4 days and it was brilliant. And I was told with the Apple retail store it was going to be about a week. So sometimes it can be actually quicker just to go to your local shop. But if you do have an Apple shop, do go there as well. Now the next one is the keyboard service program for MacBook, MacBook Airs and MacBook Pro. And I've actually got one of these MacBook Pros, so let's talk a bit more about it. I have here a 2018 MacBook Pro of the 15-inch variety, and it could possibly have this keyboard fault, as it were. What has been said is that if when you press certain keys on the keyboard, that basically they don't actually work correctly, or they don't actually come up, or they feel a bit spongy. So Apple has got a recall on this for the any MacBook Pro from 2016 onwards, any of the MacBooks when they came out, the new line from 2015 onwards, also the new MacBook Air as well, came out in 2018. Anything that uses the new type of keyboard. This keyboard, what I'm talking about, is called the Butterfly keyboard, in the way how it presses down basically. It's a bit more different, it's a bit more solid than the previous generation keyboard, and Apple has a recall program out for that. So let's have a look at a bit more details about that. So again, it's the same process. We can open this up. And then it's showing all the eligible models. As bad as it sounds, as I said before, it's all of the MacBooks, MacBook Pros, the brand new MacBook Air with the Butterfly keyboard infected with these problems. And this one's a bit of a different process. Obviously you can tell which MacBook you've got by again going to the About the Mac, and it will show you here what I was talking about earlier. But the other thing is that you just have to bring this MacBook in, and as you can see here, your Mac notebook will be examined prior to any service. So basically they're going to check that if it's your whole keyboard that's broken or the separate keys that are broken. I'm not 100% sure what they do. I don't know if they replace the full keyboard or they just change a couple of keys, the ones that are actually broken. Again, I've been hearing from some people that this repair generally takes up to a week to do, and the same thing again, you can find yourself an Apple authorized service provider or go to an Apple retail store and they can do that for you. It does say as well that the worldwide Apple program does not extend the standard warranty coverage of your MacBook, so if you do get yourself a brand new MacBook keyboard, they're not going to give you a further warranty than the one that you've actually currently got on there. So let's close that one down. Then finally, the big one that's come along very, very recently, and this is the 15-inch MacBook Pro battery recall. This one affects the 15-inch Retina display. This was the last model that came out before the Butterfly model, the touch bar model. Having said that, this model was out for a while. It was out for a long time. It was being sold at around the same time as the Butterfly touch board keyboard, the current MacBook Pro, and that's what Apple like to do. They actually continue to sell the last of their previous model for a little bit longer when their new models come out for the first couple of years. And as you can see here, it is affecting those models, the ones when they came out September 2015 to February 2017. And if you know your facts right, you had the 2016 new MacBook Pro came out during that time. So they're saying it's models made between here and here. So basically it's a certain type of battery that was installed in that MacBook Pro. So not every single MacBook Pro of the 2015 variety of the 15-inch one is actually affected. Again, this time it's a little bit more different. You can check if you first of all have got your 15-inch MacBook Pro, because it will say it here and it will match these details here. But then finally what you have to do is you have to copy and paste what I'm going to do here on my mouse, copy it, and then you'll need to paste your serial number, the one we just took from here, into here. Now obviously I've got a Mac Pro, so it's not going to like this, but what will happen is it will tell me that this is not a valid Apple product note serial. The reason why is because it's a Mac Pro, it's looking for a MacBook Pro serial number. But obviously if it was a MacBook Pro serial number and it was one of the affected ones, it would tell you, yes, this is affected. And then it will be the same thing again. You would find an Apple authorized service provider. You'd make that appointment at the Apple retail store as well if you wanted to, if you didn't want to go to the Apple authorized provider. And then what would happen is they'd take your MacBook Pro away and get you a new battery. I've heard recently again it's been taking about up to a week to get a new battery, and on this one I would highly recommend what they say here, to do a full backup of your MacBook Pro, because they are taking the guts out of inside it. So going back, as you can see, those are the 4 2019 current recalls as of July 2019, and if you have any of those affected problems, those are the steps that you need to follow. And Apple are really good in helping guys out who have got problems with their Macs or Apple equipment, and they're really good at sorting it out for you. Well guys, I hope that has helped you in knowing what you need to do now if you have got a problem with your Mac and what steps you need to follow. If you've enjoyed this video, please do subscribe to my channel, and also do press a like down below. Going back to my channel itself, I do make loads of other types of videos giving you hints and tips about Apple equipment, and also talking about older Apple equipment and how to get them cheaply and how they can still be used really well in 2019. Until the next video guys, I'll see you soon. Bye.